Alrighty guys, let's take a look at in this video. Situation is not improving with the memory stocks, right? But none of this should be any surprise to us. I have been talking about the continuation of the decline for now weeks, right? Especially for example, like Micron Sandisk. I called out the break of structure on Sandisk at this 1930 area, and on Micron it was 1100 area, and we have been still just continuing lower. So in this video, let's take a look at is there, and if where we would potentially be looking at these price heading, and that will be those zones where we can then look for as if bulls steps in. And if before that happens, I'll talk about those scenarios as well, what you will have to look for them playing out. We also have AMD continuing its decline again. Not a surprise, 500 below. We shouldn't be in the position. I told you, get out. It's gonna continue then down. Nvidia also finally, as I told you, this no longer is a strong support, breaking that as well. So let's not get ahead and let's go one at a time. Before going further, as always though, none of this any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. All right, so let's jump right into it. Let's start off today with a bit on NASDAQ 100. Now, NASDAQ 100 broke the overall structure at 703, and you can see decline is continuing, guys. As I have been telling you, 703 below will start opening up the doors to 638. That still remains the case, and NASDAQ 100 is still in the downfall. There is no bullish side on this thing that you can look at. Forget even multi-day strength. Right, even for multi-day strength, we have to gain first a significant level above, that is 686. Right now, it's not happening. There is no sign right now for any bullish comeback from what the price action is doing. It's just in the decline. To even start off with some rebound, 679 to 681 would be the zone, but then, as I said, 686 is still sitting strong resistance right now. So like it will be days away before you will see any sign of potential stabilization still first. So S&P 500 also cracking lower. Now remember, there is Microsoft earnings and other big earnings this week, so that may give the floor or some stabilization, we'll see. But right now market is just not looking like it wanna hold off. S&P 500 also continues to the downside, and this is getting critical because multi-day weakness is now is about to turn in an overall bearishness. Now it's about to lose that 738 area. As we lose 716 is a possibility on this thing, at least the first zone, and then heading down to 696. All right, let's take a look at Micron now. So we did have earnings yesterday of SK Hynix and Seagate. They are doing better than Micron and Sandisk though today, but not as well itself. So let's start with Micron, right? So look, we 950 below, things are broken, right? As what you know that I have told you days ago. And prior to that also I told you, if we lose 950, it's back in the decline, guys, okay? And we have been continuing lower. Now it has lost the next zone also, 830 area, which opens it up technically to 652. Micron continues in the decline. There is right now no sign of it getting bought up, and precisely right now it just rejected in our zone. Rebounds are selling off already, okay? So there is right now no direction for upside build, okay? You will even start to get above 850 before we even start talking about, okay, rebound is happening, guys, like a multi-day rebound. That talk can only happen above 850. Otherwise, yeah, no, we are still declining. Let's get to Sandisk now. So Sandisk is almost very close to the zone that I have been talking about, that is 787. Now, can you believe this thing? I mean, you will have to believe it because that's what you see it here. 57% down almost from its top in just a month. And I talked about it, I called it out, bearish, right? So this is the 752 is the next zone that I have been calling out, and looks like we are getting there, and I think price action will get there because buyers will not step in here. Most likely they are waiting for this zone. Okay, so let's get to the hourly interval. Just like Micron, there is right now no sign of any upside. If any rebound also we have to see, that will be above 1138, 1138. That's just a rebound though first, because red zone is still a strong resistance zone. Okay, so overall bullishness will not build up even like, just like that. It still has to like regain 1300 or show some strength before that. But yeah, right now it's also in the decline, and this remains the target 750. SK Hynix had its earnings yesterday. Well, at least it's not continuing in the collapse more. But let's take a look at SK Hynix on the Korean side, guys. So it did show some buying yesterday at the last half of the market on the Korean side, but it still is negative below 1,700,000. And that, if you look at it on the Nasdaq side, that pretty much resembles where this resistance is here. So yeah, right now it's not bullish, it's still bearish. Like even if it rebounds back to 150, it's still going to remain technically bearish overall. Those will just be near-term rebounds. If that happens, for that you will have to let it break a little bit above, right? So like pretty much rejecting at the next intraday level above, so you'll have to let it get above that first. But yeah, it remains weak. Now Seagate did gap up in the post market yesterday after its earnings, but as I told you as well, guys, look, things, yes, it can do whatever, but it's not going to change the direction to the upside unless it's against this 802 area. The significant level is sitting right there. Mark by my tools all automatically for you, and it rejected right over there, and thus never turning the direction for an upside play, and it remains bearish still below $800. I know earnings are great and all, but market is just not wanting anything to go up right now. Okay, yeah, it's better than Sandisk though in the price action. It hasn't fallen that much. It is also like maybe 30% down from the top. Yeah, 33%. So yeah, but it's still in the decline right now. The Marvel continuing lower, nothing much to see here, nothing changes, so it's still in the decline. Nvidia, okay, so Nvidia, let's take a look at this. So what I told you last time is that I mentioned to you guys, like with a fall like this area is no longer a strong support. That's why I changed it from green to yellow. All right, and I said that it's just a bounce. It's not like anymore a strong support on the overall side. Most likely we'll break it, and we broke it today. This is not the time to buy Nvidia. This is not the time to be in a heavy position. It has a room to, well, if it's not getting above 195 area, it's in the continuation decline. Next zone is 169. Okay, so still remains bearish, and yeah, it's just hourly interval is decimated also. AMD, right, told you 500 below, it's just gonna do a free fall and continuing down there. So well, I am in short on AMD, just so you know. I did tell my members about it a few days ago, and it chopped me out first. I had to do risk management at 530. That was the plan. That's what I told my members. Risk management above 530. Liquidity zone was sitting right there, so I was still wanting to see as if it takes out liquidity zone or not, and if loses 530. But all these things you will get on my Patreon if you're a member. So yeah, money is printing on AMD for me. All right, so yeah, this is on the decline and continues to remain in the decline. So, but just so you know, I wasn't immune when the price started to go up against my position. I wasn't immune. That's why I gave my members the zone that risk management would be 530. Okay, so yes, it did chop me around, but it's all about risk management and capital management. And then thereafter reloaded again with the break of 530 and continuing to hold below 500. I did size down some today, but still holding majority of my position on the short side on AMD. Anyways guys, next level is 392 on this thing on the decline. As I have been telling you, liquidity zone, distribution phase, classic top, and continuing the decline. ARM, kaboom. All right, so I don't have any position in ARM, and well, rebound, rejection, continuing lower, losing the zone again. That means there is no possibility of double bottom, and looks like the next level is $180 on ARM. All right, TSM also breaking lower. I mean, everything is selling off. Okay, everything is selling off except Bitcoin today, and there are some tech stocks green, but memory and semis and AI chips, they are selling off. Right, so 389 below, already losing that zone, and thus next level opens up is 355. This will only be a turnaround possibility if we gain the zone above, that is 390. Then only we will negate the more possibility of downside and a potential continuation again to the upside if we gain 390 on TSM, otherwise no. Intel also is in the decline, continues in the decline. This has been, I called out at 127 area, right? That weakness is starting, and this was the overall break. A little bit of a rebound came, but once we lost yellow again, continuing lower. So it's been negative for us since 127. I don't have any position in Intel. I don't have to take every trade, but it's been telling you it's in the decline, and looks like it wanna come. Well, it will a little bit try to find its bounces at 200 days moving average, because there is no other zone right now, so it's not gonna go to 54 right away, because 200 days moving average is a little bit far away from that. So buyers, instead of being at 54, they will be at around this area, but that will just give it a bounce for now. There's right now, you cannot play longevity bullish on Intel. Okay, alrighty guys, well, that's all I had for you in this video. We do have today Microsoft earnings. We have Apple tomorrow. We have Meta today. Definitely guys, all these things I talked with my members in my members only videos. Check that out. Also, if you happen to join my trading tools plus stocks coverage membership, you will also get my free DRAM portfolio. Okay, how I'm doing the DRAM portfolio is like a hedge. Okay, you can make money as you have your defined horizon, and as if you know what you are doing, how you are managing capital, and you trade like a hedge fund, and things will work out. But to learn all of that, you have to be my member, and details you will find in the description of the video for that. Okay, all right guys, with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take care, bye.